CBS News Bay Area Afternoon Edition with Ann Makovic.
Right now on the afternoon edition, for the first time in years, some cars are driving again along Market Street in San Francisco. Thanks for joining us this Tuesday. Starting today, Waymos and some Uber and Lyft cars will be able to drive down a stretch of Market Street in a limited capacity. Mayor Daniel Lurie says this is part of his plan to bring people back downtown. But as Veronica Macias reports, not everyone is on board.
Who in San Francisco doesn't want to see a comeback story for the city? Mayor Daniel Lurie rolling out more transportation options here along Market Street, a corridor that he says is vital to the city's revitalization plan. So you want to see people out here going to all the restaurants, all the hotels and the theaters, and there's no disagreement over the fact that everyone wants to see the businesses flourish. However, advocates with Keep Market Street Moving Alliance say opening up Market Street to rideshare isn't going to help, and it simply doesn't align with San Francisco values because it could make it more difficult for people who rely on public transportation, who bike or walk around here. Advocates for pedestrians and bikers say that since 2020, the Market Street corridor has seen a 40% drop in injury crashes, and muni time has improved by 14%. They're saying that while the hours for the Ubers, the Waymos, and the Lyfts will be limited on this 10-block stretch and assigned to designated areas, during off-peak hours, it's only going to be congested out here.
We want to see Market Street revitalized. We want to see downtown revitalized. But we think that the way to do that is to make it a place that people have reasons to go rather than making it a place for cars, because increasing car traffic does not increase foot traffic.
And while the mayor's office is going to be rolling out an evaluation period for this plan out here on Market Street, advocates are questioning how you measure success with all the data they're going to be collecting once they do assess the program or the plan. And they're hoping still to have an opportunity, advocates, to reverse this decision by the mayor, holding a protest out here on Market Street at 5 p.m. today.
On the fire watch, more than 2,000 firefighters continue to battle flames, thick smoke, and tough terrain at the Picket Fire that is burning in Napa County. That Picket Fire has scorched more than 6,800 acres. It is 17% contained. While some evacuation orders are downgraded, many areas are still facing active warnings. No homes or buildings have been damaged so far, but health officials warn that debris could end up contaminating the local water supply. To our first alert weather now, taking a live look outside at the city of San Francisco and Nob Hill. Let's check in with meteorologist Jessica Birch.
What a beautiful live look right now. Blue skies, blue water. It's looking pretty nice for us right now here in the Bay Area. But let's take our eyes to some other places throughout Northern California, because right now, even though it's very beautiful and very calm for most of us here in the Bay, the Sacramento Valley is starting to see a little bit more convective activity, thunderstorm activity starting to build as we head into the afternoon hours. Temperatures are starting to rise. That allows for a lot of instability in the atmosphere, and we're getting those afternoon thunderstorms with a lot of lightning too. This is a big concern when it comes to fire weather conditions, especially along those foothills. I fly over in this region a lot for the National Guard here in California, and into the afternoon hours, those pop-up storms happen quick. We're seeing that right now with a lot of lightning anywhere from Auburn down into Cameron Park and all the way up into the Sierra too. Just in South Lake Tahoe alone, we're seeing some very active thunderstorm cells starting to grow in size as we head into the next couple hours, and we're continuing to monitor that closely on Futurecast. But let's head over to the Bay Area real quick. I want to pull up the map below me, and I want to show you what's happening for us today. Here locally, we don't have thunderstorms. We really just are dealing with mild conditions. I mean, daytime highs today in San Francisco sitting in the upper 60s. That puts us right around average for this time of year. Redwood City today, 84 degrees. That's 8 degrees above average where we should be. So all of our microclimates are kind of doing their own thing. We're talking about 70s and 80s widespread throughout our inland spots. And that's also the case down into the Santa Clara Valley. I'm going to have more of this week's forecast coming up in a bit. But for now, back to you.
Thanks, Jess. Oakland has a new Office of Homelessness Solutions. Mayor Barbara Lee says they're going to pay for it with funds from Measure W, and it will implement a 5-point plan to try to curb homelessness. The plan calls for more outreach workers, increasing shelter beds, building more permanent housing, providing rental assistance, and supporting the city's Keep People Housed program. Mayor Lee says they've secured $1.4 billion from Measure W for homelessness programs. San Francisco, meantime, planning a homeless sweep in the Soma neighborhood tonight. Notices are posted right now warning unhoused people that they are going to be cleared from that area. The flyer says public agencies will ask them to move permanently and outreach and housing services will be provided. Our Amanda Harry spoke with people about their plans moving forward.
Notices throughout 6th Street, letting unhoused people know they're going to have to go somewhere else, including Ashley Brown.
Hard, way rough, way worse than where I originally come from.
Brown has been unhoused throughout California for nearly a decade, but she'll finally be getting housing in just a few days.
I'm beyond excited. This is my first apartment by myself. It took me 8 years to even get a voucher for my housing.
She's bounced around a lot during that time, and with the notice to clean up this area, she'll have to move one more time.
Honestly, yeah, because then I gotta turn around and I gotta hustle or somehow get the money for 3 days in a hotel, and the cheapest is $60.
She doesn't have a job, but she's trying to find a way to make that money.
I went and got this stuff to try and sell to make money.
She's hoping to sell enough to keep her safe until she moves into her new apartment.
It's not the easiest to sit here and go and get stuff like this to try and get your rent every day.
We've already seen some police officers here in the area of 6th and Howard talking to some people living on the streets and moving them already. This man walked across the street, moving towards 5th and away from the signs that notify people about the cleanup. Amber Jordan was just seeing the notice for the first time.
You can't clean up this spot and where are they supposed to go? It's taking too long to get people inside.
She's been homeless for years and says it's unsettling to constantly have to move.
Yeah, it is, because you never get a chance to have a foundation, something to start from. Your stuff's always taken and you're always having to move around everything with you, so you can't really ever do anything.
Brown is confident she'll get through one more move, and she hopes the community will treat unhoused people with more compassion.
We're all not bad, honestly. We're really not. A lot of us are the most kind, giving, generous people.
Well, today, the San Mateo County Board of Supervisors is taking action over the sale of nitrous oxide, also known as laughing gas or whippets. A gas has soared in popularity on social media. It is sold at gas stations and online. Today, the board is set to vote on a proposed ordinance to ban the sale of the inhalants, calling it a public health risk. Republicans in California trying to block Prop 50, that is the effort to redraw the state's congressional maps. Governor Newsom signed a law last week to send that measure to voters in a November special election. And now California Republicans are trying to get the state Supreme Court to block it from the ballot, saying Democrats violated the state constitution by skipping a public review period. The state Supreme Court did reject a different petition from Republicans last week. If voters approve the ballot measure, it would likely give Democrats 5 more congressional seats, countering a redistricting plan in Texas to give Republicans 5 seats in the 2026 midterms. The new maps would also be used for the next 3 election cycles. President Trump trying to fire Federal Reserve Governor Lisa Cook, but Cook says she's not going to step down. She's the first black woman to sit on the central bank's board. Last night, President Trump posted an apparent letter of termination for Cook on Truth Social. He said he found sufficient cause to remove her over allegations of mortgage fraud dating back to 2021. Financial analysts say the president's move risks undermining the independence of the central bank.
Any sitting president, this would set the precedent, I don't care if you're Republican or Democrat, that you could potentially use interest rates as a political tool. It just does call into question the health of the U.S. economy.
Cook's attorney says he will be filing a lawsuit to challenge what he sees as an illegal action. President Trump also facing increased pushback from Democratic governors, warning him not to send National Guard troops to their states as he weighs expanding his anti-crime initiative in D.C. to other cities, including Chicago. The governor of Illinois has indicated his state is prepared to fight in court if troops are sent. Still ahead here at noon and streaming on CBS News Bay Area. Big heads up for parents when it comes to their children's mental health. The new guidelines and timelines that pediatricians are recommending. And it is breaking feeds everywhere. The announcement from Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. A California family mourning the loss of their teenage son, now suing OpenAI, claiming that the company's ChatGPT is to blame for his suicide. They filed a lawsuit this morning in San Francisco. It claims that 16-year-old Adam Rain started using ChatGPT for homework. The family says over the span of a few months, ChatGPT offered encouragement in other aspects of Adam's life, including anxiety and suicidal thoughts. The lawsuit claims that ultimately the chatbot provided detailed instructions that helped planning Adam's suicide. Rain's family claims that OpenAI and Sam Altman rushed this version of ChatGPT to market, dismissing clear safety issues. We reached out to OpenAI for a response to the lawsuit. The company told the New York Times ChatGPT includes safeguards like directing people to crisis helplines and other resources, adding that over longer interactions, those safeguards can become less reliable. New guidelines are giving pediatricians more specifics on how to handle kids' mental health. The American Academy of Pediatrics says that screening should start just after birth, with doctors looking for postpartum depression in their parents. Then doctors should start asking about sleep, emotions, and behavior over the next 2 years. Mental health screening should start at age 3. CBS News medical contributor Dr. Celine Gounder says that there could be some trouble getting that treatment.
We have a real shortage of child psychiatrists in this country. Even if you have good insurance, you might be looking at months to even years long wait to see somebody.
The Academy survey says nearly 40% of U.S. kids will face a mental or behavioral health issue by the time they turn 16. All right, back to our first alert of weather now, taking a live look over the city. I can see the Transamerica Tower there. Let's check back in with meteorologist Jessica Birch.
And air quality is looking great over there, too. Not so much, though, for some of our local communities closer to the Picket Fire. As we head a little bit more north right now, there's 17% of containment right now. The fire grew over 6,000 acres in size, and we're continuing to monitor that as the firefighters are still underway with that containment number. Now, as we head into the afternoon hours today, Napa, throughout that valley up into Calistoga, we're gearing up for some gustier winds in the next couple hours. 70s in the forecast today, so a lot cooler compared to last week when the fire started to grow in size on Thursday. Remember last Thursday when we were dealing with a heat advisory? It was widespread throughout the Bay. That's not the case at all this week. We're seeing a lot more mild of a forecast for us as we head into the afternoon hours today. Right around average for our friends in the Santa Clara Valley, a little bit above average near Redwood City. Temperatures today right where we should be over into San Francisco, sitting in the upper 60s. Take a look behind me. There's a couple things I want to talk about. The winds. Let's start off with that, because when it comes to fire weather season, of course, winds play such a huge part in that. On top of low relative humidity, on top of hot temperatures like we had last week, here's what we're gearing up for into this afternoon. Up to around 5 o'clock, we can see gusts to around 20 to 30 miles per hour in places like Solano County, stretched over into San Francisco too. Napa, just around 5 o'clock, around 18 mile per hour wind gust. Why is that important to note? Well, that surface smoke continues to billow mostly to the north and the northeast as we head into the next couple of days, and we're monitoring that closely, especially when it comes to the air quality. This is important to know. I mean, for the most part, the past couple of days, we've been sitting in that unhealthy for sensitive groups category all the way to the very unhealthy category, and that's the case in certain pockets of the North Bay right now. Continue to keep a close eye on that air quality throughout the afternoon hours today. Check your phone, check our local forecast. It's important to keep that in mind, especially for your health as we head into the afternoon hours. And in the early morning hours, as smoke really starts to settle, as the winds are light, that's another good time to check too when you first wake up in the morning. See what's going on in your local communities and be mindful of that. Limit your time outside. Of course, we're going to continue to keep a close eye on these warm temperatures in our inland spots. We'll hit the 90s heading into this weekend. Back to you.
This is the Audi Red and Gold Report.
The 49ers have wrapped up the preseason, and the Red and Gold are on to Seattle for the regular season debut on September 7th. Now, the next 24 hours will be nerve-wracking for the young guys hoping to make the team as the 53-man roster is announced on Tuesday. One of those roster hopefuls is receiver Tariq Owens, son of 49ers legend Terrell Owens. The younger T.O. made his best impression here Saturday with a 22-yard touchdown reception, the first of his NFL career. Owen says he feels better about his chances to make the team after getting through the preseason healthy.
Obviously last year got hurt, didn't get opportunity to play during preseason, came back, was on practice squad, so I wasn't really getting all of the details for like plays and stuff like that. During OTAs, I was able to pick up the offense a little bit better, able to process things a lot better. And then obviously, preseason, that was my time to kind of go out there and just let it all out and just play.
With the Red and Gold Report, I'm Vern Glenn.
Well, Travis Kelce might have 3 Super Bowl rings, but it is the one he put on Taylor Swift's finger that is breaking the internet today. Superstar Taylor Swift now engaged in her engaged era, they say, with the Chiefs tight end. Swift confirming the news on Instagram, sharing pictures of the proposal in that garden, surrounded by flowers and showing off the brilliant cut ring that's called an old mine cut. The caption simply says, "Your English teacher and your gym teacher are getting married." We're going to have all the wedding deets as they roll in. We'll be right back. A few weeks from now, lowriders are going to be cruising the Mission for this year's King of the Streets parade in San Francisco. It is the first ever televised parade dedicated to lowriders, and you can watch it on Pix Plus. This morning, Gianna Franco and Max Darrow talked with parade co-host Chuy Gomez from 102 Jams about what we can expect.
Well, it's cultural. It's just highlighting our community and seeing that we are hardworking folks. We're here to make a difference, and it is community because it is generational. You got kids that grew up with their grandfathers with the lowriders, and now they're teaching their kids and grandkids about lowriders. So it's been around for a long, long time. So it's a sense of come see our community. There's going to be folklorico out there. There's going to be lots of music. Of course, there's food, tons of food from all of Latin America. And so it's going to be a beautiful day on September 20th out there in the Mission.
And if you can't make it to the Mission, you can watch King of the Streets Parade live on Pix Plus and streaming on CBS News Bay Area. Again, that is September 20th, 1 o'clock. Coming up here on CBS News Bay Area, we are celebrating some beloved companions. It is National Dog Day. We're going to hear from an organization helping people living with blindness live more independent lives. Today is National Dog Day, and for people who have lost their sight, a dog can really be a part of their road to independence. Guiding Eyes for the Blind provides free guide dogs to people who need them. Some best practices around guide dogs including not interacting, making direct eye contact, or petting. I know that's easier said than done. Also, introducing yourself to the person with the dog, asking if they need any help. The director of donor relations discussed what her guide dog has brought to her life on CBS Mornings.
Working with a guide dog really takes away a lot of that extra thinking you have to do to get from point A to point B. And for me, when I received my guide dog, it felt like going from doing what I had to do to doing what I wanted to do. And so that really jump-started me on exploring new things that I hadn't explored before.
You can find out more about raising a guide dog at guidingeyes.org. And I want to bring on my dog, Sandy. She's a rescue pup, not trained in anything special, but certainly is my best friend. So on this National Dog Day, do consider adoption for a dog, cat, anyone. Our shelters are overcrowded, so be aware of that. That is it for the afternoon edition. Remember, we are streaming 24/7 on the free CBS News app. Just choose live and then Bay Area.